Ireland should consider quitting the EU in its own Irexit, suggests former amba.ssador. The country's close social and economic ties with the UK and the push for greater integration led by Paris and Berlin means it may be better off outside the bloc in the long term, retired senior diplomat Ray Bassett argued. He said the EU would be very different without the UK, its main trading partner. Mr. Bassett warned that EU plans to create the post of a European finance minister to harmonise economic policy and taxation may not be to Ireland's interests. Higher tax countries such as France have been pushing for a crackdown on tax havens in the EU. But the Netherlands, Ireland and other low-tax nations argue that it would harm Europe's competitiveness. These tensions have been underlined by a legal wrangle between Dublin and Brussels over Ireland's failure to collect a disputed €13 billion, £11.5 billion, tax bill from the US tech giant Apple. Against the backdrop of the Brexit talks, Mr. Bassett, senior fellow for EU affairs at think tank Policy Exchange, said, "There are other developments in Europe, which may not be to Ireland's interests. It's going to be a very different organization without the United Kingdom and without our number one ally." He has already written a report on Irexit, which said, "The huge choice facing Ireland is whether, given the circumstances, the country can live with the likely post-Brexit arrangements and so stay a full member of the European Union, or whether a radically different relationship with the EU is required, including the possibility of an Irish departure from formal membership, an Irexit." Mr. Bassett said last night the agreement reached on the border between Northern Ireland and the Republic was a bit of a fudge, but necessary to move on to the next stage, trade talks. But he warned, that they will spend their entire time of the next phase on the transition period. "I think the UK has got to resist that and move fairly quickly on to trade. I think it achievable. Self-interest usually wins in the end."